Hey y'all, I'm Cody, it's time to catch up. Grab your headphones and fill your cup. Sports and life, I've got stories to share. Sit back, relax like you just don't care.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Catching Up with Cody. As you can see, I got two great guests here, Cade and Andrew, both TikTok content creators that I have met through social media. And like Andrew said before we got on here, it seems like we have known each other forever. So thank you guys for being on. Cade, I know I've had you on before. Andrew, this is your first time, so thanks for being here. I guess, Cade, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and then after that, Andrew, you do the same.
Yeah, so my name's Cade, and professionally I'm an engineer. I work for a automotive company in Detroit, and I got laid off in November. And I've always been kind of interested in the content world, and I decided to really ramp it up. Once I got laid off and explore this world. I think for me, my major goal in life would be to be able to form a business around content creation one day. I see a future in it, and this is where I am right now, and I'm looking forward to continue. So,
Nice.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. My name's Andrew, of course. I'm in Boston. Professionally, I came from about 8 years in talent acquisition, hiring really research scientists, engineers, like software engineers, really in the tech space as a tech consulting startup. I left my job in November. Just couldn't be there anymore, and I started going full time with content creation for probably about a month. And ever since I was really a kid, I've always been just a very outgoing, chatty performer person. But it's really kind of hitting now that this is something that I'm really comfortable with, and I've been taking off ever since.
Nice. Yeah, I have noticed. I mean, especially with you, Andrew. I mean, both you guys obviously posting daily and everything, but Andrew, it's crazy. I feel like every time I open up TikTok, there's a video that you post, which is great because I mean that's definitely how you grow the channel and everything like that. I mean, obviously, you just hit 2,000 followers. I mean, how does it feel? Does it feel do you feel like you have more pressure on you now that you are kind of gaining these followers, or do you just feel like it's exactly the same as when you started?
Yeah, it's a really quiet, warm pressure. It's not bubbling over type of pressure. It feels, almost more like a support, right? Where I've got a lot of good energy behind me. I definitely, I feel kind of slowly building up. But, right now I have the faith that, honestly, it's going well so far. I just want to take it one step at a time, one video at a time. And especially with the 2,000, it's crazy because I kid you not, I think 2 weeks ago I was at 1,200, and it just skyrocketed. And it's just like any growth in life, it's not linear. You'll just be sitting and plateauing, and all of a sudden you're spike up like a stock or something. And patience is so important. So I'm sticking strong, and it's really kind of quiet pressure, and I am sticking with it and trusting where I am right now. I like to, be kind to myself as things go. I think that, hustle culture type of pressure is just only going to make you melt when things get tough.
I agree.
It can
I
be too
agree with
hard.
that. I agree with that, Andrew. I'm sorry for chiming in here, but I agree with that. I've been really putting that hustle culture pressure on me myself. I just feel like I'm very susceptible to that, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's where I've been kind of melting down. And lately I've been feeling very burnt out, very anxious. Seeing other people around you and other people on social media that we don't even know. People, always talking about hustle culture and kind of embracing it. And I don't want to be that person that embraces it. And I've definitely felt that, and it's definitely been tough. By the way, also, what method of growth on social media have you found more the most effective lately? Where you've gained your new following, is that from lives or is that from posting?
Yeah.
From lives?
Yeah. Probably a lot from lives, frankly. Mutual connections are like incredibly important because when it's like a really strong connection to one person, odds are their connections are also going to be really strong, similar interests. Like I'll go through and I'll see all these people that had like incredibly similar platforms, like yourself, Cody. Where I was like, oh, like you really think in this world that like everyone's such a stranger, but actually like people are so familiar. Like where like just getting an introduction to someone else, they're just like you. So just kind of, you know, a little bit, honestly, it sounds funny, but also engaging on videos too, and just doing a little bit of scrolling, like intentional scrolling.
You feel like you're gaining the most from hosting the lives. Where do you feel like this is the most effective way to do that in terms of engagement? And I was talking to Cody about this a little bit too. But I just wanted to know where do you guys think that what is the most effective route, and where have you guys seen the most growth?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think going into lives, because you know you have that daily heart. You know, you gain points and everything through commenting and doing the gifts and everything like that, which I know kind of puts you in a different category as you're, you know, joining these people's lives. I know a couple times that like I'll go into creators that have like a lower amount of viewers, because the more like you engage or you know, donate and stuff like that, your name is always up in the, I think, the top right corner. So as long as you're sitting in the live, your name is right there. So I kind of do that as far as the lower you know, rooms and everything, because I mean, instead of spending all that money, I'd rather just get my name out there now. And then but there is a couple that have, you know, that they'll have like 200-300 people in there, and you know, even just like doing a heart, even just throwing one rose, just even the minimal stuff. Like I'll be in there live for, you know, 3 to 4 minutes, and then, you know, I'll check and I got like 7 to 10 followers just from being in there for that short time. And I feel like I've noticed that, and I don't know if it's TikTok or what it is, but I've noticed that like the people that are like, it's all like the bots and everything that like they're actually not accounts. I've noticed that like in a short period of time they'll like leave from your followers list. So I don't know if TikTok is filtering out, which would be perfect if they are. And some you can tell are like, you're like, okay, this is a bot just sitting in somebody's live and just giving them a follower, and then they leave right afterwards.
I think that is very true. I think the platforms in general are really starting to squash bots. I know on Instagram, I had a buddy who had about 8,000 followers, and his follower count randomly dropped to like 3,000 some. So he lost like 5,000 some followers, and it turns out all those followers were bots. And he was running he runs a fitness coaching business, and I was always wondering why he wasn't like making a living off of it, because I'm like, man, like if you have 8,000 followers, you should be able to make a living off it pretty easily in terms of coaching. You know, maybe not views, but in coaching, in terms of coaching. And I realized that the reason why was that his page was just full of bots, and I don't know. It's not his fault, you know. A bunch of bots just followed him, and you know, he couldn't do anything about it.
It happens. It's like, I mean, it's like a challenge. Not to get you off, but I remember when I was like in the hundreds for followers, I would get a lot of bots. Like I think they're more just like low hanging fruit. They're like almost like loose change of accounts. No offense to the bots, but when I would get something going for like a basic video and I wasn't really getting pushed out, I was getting pushed out to bots, or I was maybe I did like a couple lives, I was getting bots in the live. TikTok's trying to like probably some sort of like algorithm that's like ranking the legitimacy of profiles. So
another question too I had for you guys, and you know, obviously Andrew gave me a lot of really good advice yesterday, because I've been kind of going through a little bit of a rough patch just mentally, you know, not seeing that much growth and getting caught up in this hustle culture. I have a question for both Andrew and Cody, and that's like, what piece of advice would you give someone in my shoes, you know, that feels like they're kind of down and They need to get out of that rut, and they need to keep positive no matter what kind of results they get and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, with still being a newer content creator and low followers and everything like that, I mean, we've had this conversation before too. It's like, you know, don't really worry about what people are saying or what the numbers are showing. I mean, I even had when I had Social Sprout on the other day, he was like, the only competition is yourself. I mean,
Yeah,
you can look
that's
at all
true.
these people. I mean, we'll use YouTube for example. I mean, you can look at Andrew's page and yeah, he's got 2,000 followers, and that's great. But I mean, it's and at the end, it's just a number, really. I mean,
Yeah,
if you guys enjoy doing it, I mean, either way, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. And I mean, Kate, I remember you telling me this when we first met. I mean, you said Mr. Beast posted like what 400 or 500 videos before he went viral. I mean, and even back then, like you can't really compare. And we talked about this before we started recording, but like I feel like the algorithm is changing weekly, so it's you got to kind of put that into consideration. That like it's kind of like just a weekly challenge of like, okay, let's see how quick I can figure out this algorithm and just try to be one step ahead of it.
yeah,
Again, I know it's hard because it is changing all the time. Just social
but
media is totally different. I mean, I've even like looked at my personal account for like people that I used to follow, and I'm like, it doesn't seem like I'm seeing their videos much anymore. So, I mean, I think everybody's just kind of in the same boat, and I mean, the content creators that obviously have millions of views and followers and everything like that, obviously that will never affect them. Which again I think makes it harder for new content creators to do because they're already way ahead of us, obviously. But I mean, their algorithm I feel like will never change because they've been, pretty much doing the same thing for years, and they have that extra cushion of, okay, if the algorithm's bad for a week, they still have millions of followers. So, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing, and eventually, that one video that it'll go viral.
be just a small part of what I said last night, but like introspection and checking yourself is like wildly key. Old track and cross country coach used to say that cliche term, like when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't mind anything if I get like 70 views on something. I just poured like 20 minutes in, like just making like something. Like, I posted like improv like joke videos, and I like thought about it for like a whole week, wrote it out, had so much fun with it, and then it gets like 5 likes. But like, first of all, I'm doing this for me, and then
Yeah.
it's come out in a way where hopefully it's enjoyable. But at the end of the day, I'm really enjoying doing what I love. Like, granted, yeah, I don't really see this as doing something that I'm full time, but I would like to put more commitment in with like editing, really, really refining things, and probably putting some more serious effort in. But at the same time, like, I accept myself for like what I really like doing and who I am. So when you think about like looking into yourself of like, you're feeling down about it not working out, it's like, well, like, why do you feel down? And then like you're working towards something. Like, what is that vision? I think we live in such a time, and like this isn't even such a time thing. It's just like an age bracket. Like, we're a few years apart where like we're looking towards this goal, but I like to think about things more as milestones where like you got to look at where you are right now and just like start there and keep pushing. Like, the goal will happen, you will get there. I listen to a lot of podcasts with this stuff too, where it's like kind of reverse that and look at like where you are and just continue to, kind of push, go with your gut, like go and stay strong with yourself. The goals will happen. You will get there, but just keep checking yourself and being present, like where you are at the moment. And at the same time, like, it's really easy to like hold yourself against others, but also like eventually you will get to a point where you keep growing, where you just like you become so confident that like you don't even pay any mind to what other people are doing. Like, it just, there's no point to it. It, like, when you start checking yourself and you're like, that doesn't make me feel that great, like, it's just not worth the struggle and the pain of like putting yourself up against an algorithm or somewhere else. Like, if you hold the faith and you really look into how the algorithm works, or you're really being like truly interesting, authentic, and sharing it out there, like, you will get big at that point, and it takes time. But if you put yourself at or bigger than the algorithm, like, it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't like to shrink and stay small against something that's just a bunch of code.
Yeah. So
Like,
it sounds like Andrew. It sounds like what you're saying is, no matter what, just focus on making good content and being authentic, because
yeah.
no one truly knows what the algorithm is, and people might say, oh,
No.
you gotta do this.
Control.
You gotta do this to grow. You gotta do this to grow. You gotta look at this. You gotta do creator search insight. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. At the end of the day, it just comes down to, making good content and being authentic.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you just gotta remember those two things. That's what I'm gonna, from going forward from now. I'm just focusing on those two things. Like,
Yeah.
staying true to myself, being consistent, and just letting it play out. And for me, I work myself into this like tizzy of like figuring out the algorithm and being like, okay, what the hell am I doing wrong?
I mean, it's like stimulating and fun
Yeah.
to like try to figure stuff out sometimes, especially when you have like an analytical mind. Like, you just want to get down to
Yeah.
the bottom of stuff. But like,
You want to look at the data and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, like if you just focus on posting something that is true to yourself, because you are the niche. You are the niche. I heard someone say this.
Exactly.
You are the niche. Like, stay true to yourself. Do it. You post the content that you want to post. There's a niche for everything. As long as
Yeah.
you stay consistent and don't give up, you're eventually gonna take off. And
yeah, I think I was a niche this morning. Like, I was getting pushed. I had like 11 people in my live within like a minute because I was like, come work out with me. And I was like, that's a pretty unique, interesting idea. And I swear to God, I was getting pushed out. Like, only like 6 or 7 were staying in, but like just like 11 just get pushed right in. I was like, this is getting pushed out to people. I saw good numbers afterwards. But at the same time, it's like, it's something that we don't know. There's like one of my good friends likes to say we live in like a country of the shoulds and like a land of the shoulds. Like, you should do this, you should do that, and there's so much hustle culture and just like pressure culture out there where I can't scroll more than 5 videos on TikTok without someone saying the word like need or should. And sometimes, I'll be honest, I call people out on it and they're like, oh shoot, that's a good point. Like, I watched a running video last night and I was like, I love your video and I'm gonna be constructive criticism, but and the tone's fine, but the verbiage of saying like, this is the one thing you need to do while you're running, I was like, that doesn't work for everyone. Like, some people have more than one need, some people don't have any needs. Like, there's not one size fits all. So I like to push more things in terms of authenticity, but also this like should stuff. Like, the best response to that, like like opening up here as a former kid that was like really nerdy and bullied in high school, is like, where did that come from? Or like, who said that? Because it's like, it's a bunch of BS, or people are just saying stuff to say stuff. Where it's like, like, where did you get that idea? Do you have the algorithm in your pocket? Like,
Yeah.
Like, people are speculating all the time. It's a bunch of Monday morning quarterbacking or a guessing game. So it's really tough to put that guessing game in your mind, and then like, you're gonna drive yourself crazy because there really is no should in life. Like, the should is be yourself.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, like, I don't think they do it on purpose. I think they just,
Right,
like,
right,
it
right.
works for them, and, like, so they're like, okay, well, I'm going to, try to help people by saying this is what you need to do. Well, and like you kind of said, like, it doesn't really work for everybody. Like, I mean, we can go with the live and just posting, like Cade was talking about. Like, yeah, it might work, for me, like, okay, I'm going to engage in lives, this and this and that. Whereas, like, we'll use Cade, for example. Like, if he posts consistently and, does everything like that, I mean, it might work for both of us. So then it's kind of like, okay, well, neither are wrong and neither are right. It's just how we grow the channel.
I like that view on thing, Cody. I think that's a good view.
I like that. Neither of them is right.
And like, there's no right or wrong answer, and there's no right or wrong this or that. And I like how this conversation too. It's like we're talking about hustle culture, and I don't know if you guys are scrolling on TikTok and you always see these like gurus like, oh, if you're not making $10,000 a month, you're failing, or like, if you're not having your first $100,000 a month, what are you doing? I'm like, it's like, okay, like, is that what we're doing now? Like, and I feel bad because I'm like, I'm sitting there trying to like make something out of this, and then you have someone on the other side of the camera telling me like, you're failing in life if you're not a multi-millionaire by like 20 something. It's just like,
That's not for everyone.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people like having like a little cottage in the woods and like one other house and making 100,000 and that's it. You know, some
Yeah.
people want millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Some people want a small family. Some people want a big family. Like, it's really easy to put yourself up against others' success, but like, what is your own like version of happiness and content? Like,
Yeah.
what do you really want? When do you feel good, and how do you want more of that?
Yeah, and I mean, it really is all based off too, like where they came from. Like, I mean, some people could have already like had money, and it just makes
Right.
it not that it's an easier path, but
Right.
they have those resources. Where some people that don't have those resources have to work a little bit harder. And again, neither is
Yes.
right, neither is wrong.
Some people have hired a publicist and an agent. They're part of a talent agency,
Yep.
and then they gain 20,000 followers in a week, and they didn't tell you that.
Yeah.
You know, some people's parents are famous actors, like some people are promoting their video with hundreds of dollars. Like,
Yeah.
you don't really know.
No, and that really kind of goes with what we were saying on live the other day. Like, I use Social Sprout as an example. Like, I mean, he's at, I think it was like 12,000 or 13,000 followers. Like, he could be that person that just says, you know what? All right, I'm at this point, and everybody that has low followers, see ya. But like,
Right.
he is, and I like the story he was saying. Like, he looks out for the day one people, because without them, without anybody, without your day ones, you are nothing. I mean, realistically, we were all at 0 followers. So us being, a group here, I mean, I would assume that all of us, if we ended up getting big on social media, would remember who the day one people are.
It's a balance.
Yeah.
Like,
So
I agree with you. I remember like day one people that they one guy he stitched my video. He's still, I think he's at like 12,000 followers now, but we go way back, and he stitched one of my videos from March. Still, it's only like 2.5 months ago, but it feels like years ago.
yeah.
And he just like blasted it out to everyone. It was like, I love this guy's energy, this positivity. And I had like 200 followers. I was like, what? Like, I think it just got to his FYP, and
Yep.
I can't even like, it still hasn't processed in me like how meaningful that was. Like, I saw his number of followers like 5,000 at the time, and I was like, whoa, like, why is he doing this? And it's like, wait, maybe my content's actually pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I know a couple of people that are, they're up in like the 20s and 30s, and like they'll still shout me out or like my video, and I'm like, what does a 400 follower content creator have anything for them to do? I mean, it's awesome because, like you said, that's how you network and that's how you build these relationships. But it's like, I guess I always thought that like these people with hundreds of thousands of followers were like, all right, well, let's get to the next goal, and let's get to the next goal, and just kind of forget about all the day one people. But there is actually people out there that will always support their day ones from the beginning.
You get this like nihilist view of the world sometimes because there's just so much negativity that gets pounded on about things, such as like this topic where like sometimes you block out that there is good out there, and TikTok is like really continuing to tell me that like credentialism is a huge thing I think about. It's a really important topic, where we tend to, in just a lot of societies, value the people with the most clout, the most followers. A comedian that fills up an arena of 10,000 people, like people will flock to that and they'll laugh like just because they think they should. An audience of like 10 or like 400 people or like 300 people, whatever it have you, and that's like huge quality and that's perfect. And like those 300 people could like all share your video, repost it, share it in the live, whatever. And like that's just like strength in numbers versus like a random like 20,000 people. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's people that have 20,000 awesome connections too. But like at the end of the day, like it's just as important to appreciate your quality and your authentic content, even if you don't have like 20,000 people watching you, because you could be more talented and they just have a bunch of people that support them.
Yeah.
Like, and TikTok values that.
Yeah. I mean, that's like you, for example, Andrew. I mean, you're at 2,000 followers. I mean, me and Cade put together, I don't even think we're at 1,000. So, like, just you taking time out of your day to be like, okay, I support these guys. Let's kind of bounce ideas off each other. I mean, that's
like
huge, too.
It hasn't hit me yet. Like, I hope my ego stays checked the whole time. I hope I'm at 20,000 and I'm like, oh, really? Like, I really want to push more people out there because you're saying, like, a bunch of those people with, like, 20, 30,000 followers and they keep their ego, their, whatever in check. And, like, because, like, like, why should you change as you grow bigger? Shouldn't you just appreciate that you have more support? I really don't believe in like changing. I mean, like that number doesn't really affect me. Like that's such a small part of my day. Like the biggest parts of my day are like my family, friends, community, like taking care of myself and like being a good person and like, you know, just taking care of business, right? And then like that like 2100 that I have, it's kind of superficial, but like at the end of the day, there's so many people that are creators on this platform are like that's their biggest thing in their life is like that follower number, and they like drives them crazy. I've seen creators that like have these like lavish dinners with like balloons when they get to like 5,000 or 10,000, and like I would forget to do that. I'd be like, I'd just be hanging out with my friends, like trying to keep it simple.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
I might celebrate 10K. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, but it was like, you know, even like when I hit, I think it was 300. I like did like a little video about it, but I was like, it's like holy cow, like, and again, it's such a small number, but like for what I'm doing is like just the hobby and just kind of like not posting a lot, but enough. It's like, okay, well, obviously there's enough people that are enjoying what I do. I mean, and still are enjoying what I do because I'm up to like 430 now. So it's like, okay, I didn't think that I would get this far. And even I was talking to my buddies the other day, and you know, I told them the number of followers, and they were like, "Is that like for real?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I'm like, I don't post the best content, but obviously people like it, so it works.
I saw this great video from a creator on TikTok the other day where he was like, "You'll be telling the most like real and sometimes impressive, just like truly like impressive form of creativity." Edit that out. No, I'm just kidding. Impressive form of creativity, whether you ran a marathon or you wrote a song or you did a podcast, whatever your form of creativity is. And like there will always be someone out there, if it's this like really big feat, they'll be like, "No, you didn't." Like on my 30th birthday last year, I ran 30 miles for my 30th birthday. And mind you, that was after like a birthday party. There was a surprise party, and like there's like alcohol involved, celebrating, staying up till 2 in the morning. And it was like, it's my 30th birthday. I just wanted to like feel 30. I don't know. And like, there were people that were so happy for me, and people like asking if I was done yet. Like, took longer than I wanted to. And then there were people that were like, "Did you really do it? No, you didn't. No, you didn't." And it's like, I did though. Like, what do I have to do to prove it? Like, I swear I did. Like, did I have to like document the whole thing? And I sometimes think there's a lot of pressure for people to document things because it's like, how are you performing if no one's watching? Like, moving quietly is like something I hear about all the time. Like, I kind of like that versus hustle culture. Like, move quietly and keep them guessing. And it, you know, this all just relates back to what you're saying. It's so cool.
That's funny, Andrew, because you know I've been putting a lot of work into like TikTok and editing and filming and working, and I do every day. I do something every day, and there's some days where, you know, I do all my work at night, like I've said, and I'll come up in my room, and then like, you know, my family would be like, you know, like, "What are you doing up there, Cade? Are you just sitting around up there?" And you know, people think I'm being lazy. People think I'm just like not really doing anything with my life, and it's just like I'm working on something, and just because it's like social media doesn't mean it's not work.
So, like, just like lives, like there'll be like 2 or 3 people in, and like people will start showing up. Like I've heard stories about guys going live for like 24 hours straight, and like people start showing up at points. Like you just got to keep putting more in. And like one of my favorite podcasters in the wellness space is a big proponent of means to an end, where rather than focusing on the end goal, it's focusing on the means to the end. So putting in the work and understanding what you're doing and really putting the passion into it, and just keep continuing that, and the end will get there. That's, you know, definitely patience. And like one like other big thing of advice here while I'm on that topic is like, man, like I think we're like 5-6 years apart. Like your late 20s is a really special time where if you're really staying committed and you're really going into your growth, like just like, especially I think like men specifically, physiologically, their brain doesn't stop growing until they're like 25, and like we really, I think mentally, like really coming from when we're like 30, like we're starting to use this big brain, and like that's a big like time in our lives as adults. It was like the wake up call where it was like, no, be authentic, be real, like stop caring. And I know so many of my friends that are like around like late 20s, 30, where like they're just not into that like comparing game, and they're just so confident, and they're like, we're all like magnetic. Like people just like flock to us because I'm like, why are you guys so confident? We're like, because we like ourselves. Like we're our biggest fans.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And that's really gonna help me because I'm 25, so I'm just entering that area of my life, and that's one thing I've been really struggling with is like the outside people, outside opinions, outside criticism, outside like telling me I should do this, I need to do that, like we've said, and I just want to become confident in what I love and what I'm passionate about and my authentic self and not really care what other people want me to do with my life
Yeah, right.
and obviously like to learn from both of you two to where you guys are at and how you guys feel about yourselves and you guys on this content journey that really helps me and I hope that helps someone else who's gonna watch this podcast who might be my age or younger or whatever.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's just really just do what you want to do. I mean, I know when I first started, I was like, you know what, if I do these videos and only two people like it, or I get 2 views, I mean, that's 2 people that obviously enjoy it, and honestly, at the end of the day, it's what makes you happy. So if you enjoy posting the content, and whether it gets the numbers that you want or not, I mean, you got to make yourself happy before you can make anybody else happy. Well, honestly, guys, this was a really good podcast. I'm glad I had both you guys on. I think the stories that we had were perfect. I mean, I think we're all pretty much on the same, level of where we want to grow and continue. So, I mean, I guess quick little, exit thing from both you guys is where do you see your content growing in like the next, we'll say 3 months?
I don't know about the next 3 months because I don't really know, what that holds for me and if my content takes off, if it stays the same, where it goes. But, all I know is that I'm going to keep going. And in terms of long-term outlook, I'm going to keep posting videos. I'm going to try to branch out to YouTube. I think that's going to be my main thing over the next 3 months is get on YouTube. I'm on Instagram now, posting consistently with my TikTok. And, for me, the way I look at it is like I want to be able to build my own business around content one day because I think it's just so powerful in the amount of people that you can reach. I know several people who, I know closely that I went to high school with have done it successfully and, people that I don't know, you see Social Sprout is really taking off now, people just doing that and building a business around it. And I think that's my main goal, for my life is, funnel what I have into that and be able to one day take off and become an entrepreneur and have my own thing and, be able to have that time and freedom and continue doing things like this with you guys. And, I think that's my main goal. I think my main goal and just keep my creativity, I feel like society kind of, dumbs down your creativity and you just feel like you're kind of locked in a box. You can't really think for yourself and you can't really do anything you want.
I'm with you. Just like you guys, I'm a huge numbers guy, and like you're saying earlier, like don't get too caught up in the analytics. Try to figure out, where the growth is going, how their algorithm's going. But if I do that for a split second, it's scary. 3 months ago, I think I had like 200 something followers. So I know I love the
only 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I was in the low 300s in early March.
And I know we're going a little off topic here, but just question too, because you said you were just at 200 a few months ago. What was the number one thing that you noticed that like really helped you in terms of like fundamentally?
Probably just probably the engagement with like real connections, whether it's in someone's video, just staying true to yourself and making sure that they comment on it, and continue to just do what you really believe in.
Yeah.
That will keep the people around, and obviously engaging in the lives as well. I think lives are such an interesting concept. I think they're a lot newer to us than we think. Like we think they're like they've been around because they've been similar things, kind of like podcasts or just like it's kind of a two-way video, but it's like way more like improvised and real and raw. I'm trying to think like another live, but like there's similar ones. It's not the same on other platforms, so I think it's like seriously like authentic. You can think like other lives on like Facebook, Instagram, and like those ones still seem like they're trying to put out like some sort of like performative or superficial news story, because those are like coming from like almost like news feed, like we have it on like Facebook and feeds. Like this is like, I think it's just different on TikTok, where like this is truly just someone like throwing themselves out there and like connecting with people and like being seen with real people. I wish I could track all of it, but I would definitely say it was like these real like top like 30 connections really pushed me out like crazy. And the followers just start flowing in when you make content, when it's real. And I don't even notice. I'm like, I don't know who these people are. Like, not to be disingenuous, but like they're just flowing in right now, because I've just been putting out content today and commenting back and forth and enjoying stuff. So staying active and intentional on the platform and just kind of try not to doom scroll too much. I don't feel like the same person. Like it feels like years ago. So if you ask me like 3 months from now, I'd be like, it's the end of the summer and I have like 15,000 followers, and like I don't even recognize myself anymore, because like it's just so crazy. Like every day is something like going on. When you really like what you're doing and things are going well, like time just slows. So I think that things are going to get real. They're going to get heavy. And I really hope that like I'm building the right following, so it just like skyrockets. And I don't know what that will be like, but I think I'll be ready and I'll be doing the right thing when I get there.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
There you go. Yeah, no, again, I think that was a great live. I appreciate both of you guys being on. I think we all got something good for the future. So just keep doing what you guys are doing, and I mean, Andrew, we'll catch up to you eventually. Don't you worry.
We'll be on your tail here shortly.
I was gonna say now we got to make it a friendly competition. Now we'll be at 2K before you know it.
But on a real note, this is aside from the word competition, I'd say I'd rephrase it to inspiration, because I'm inspired, and Andrew's, both of you guys have been there for me, and like Andrew sent me those messages yesterday about like not getting down on myself and not playing into the algorithm and playing into the outside noise, and that means a lot to me, guys. It means more than what you could even think, and I've received more support from you guys than people in real life, and that just tells you a lot right there. So
yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, networking obviously is number one, but like, I mean, building these relationships and these friendships, it's cool. I mean, like I said, I mean, the people that I talk to that I've met through social media, I never would have thought I would have connections like that with these people.
I still
So
don't know if some of you guys are real. Like it's just like still sits in. I need to take a break one of these days and just like let it all sink in. Take a break and go to the beach and sit on the beach all day.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Starting this Friday, I'm gonna be I'm going up north into a retreat where there's no internet, so I am gonna be like forced to take a break like from everything. Like I'm leaving my phone in my house, so it'll be good for me to kind of like unplug completely. But yeah, I mean, just know when to take a break, but also just never give up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, again, I appreciate you guys. We'll still be in touch, and I'll work on this stuff and send it to you guys before we do anything else. So I appreciate you guys being on.
Awesome, sounds great.
Thanks, Cody.
Alrighty.
All right, enjoy it, guys.
Take care, guys.